So, this is the last part of the language of letting go, work histories. So, there are times I had to quit a job and walk away in order to be true to myself. Sometimes that was frightening. Sometimes I felt like a failure, but I learned this. If I was working my program and true to myself, I never had to fear where I was being led. There have been times I couldn't survive on the small amount of money I was receiving. That happened to me when I worked in prison, teaching prison. I just couldn't survive on it, and I was really sad that after I prepared them for the exam, I had to leave. I also had a problem with the screaming of the people that were other people that were working there. Not the prisoners, but no, there was just the teachers. There were some people with a lot of power struggles and very difficulties expressing themselves. It was definitely a life experience, but I needed the money. I'm sorry, I couldn't do that. Then I was unemployed for a while because I couldn't find something else. But I knew that if I would continue, I would be just like not getting enough money. And you need to make a living too. Instead of bringing that issue to a particular employer and making it his or her fault, I had to learn to bring the issue to myself and my higher power. I've learned I'm responsible for setting my boundaries and establishing what I believe I deserve. I've also learned that God, not a particular employer, is my source of guidance. I've learned that I'm not stuck or trapped in a job no more than I am in a relationship. I have choices. I may not be able to see them clearly right now, but I do have choices. I've learned that if I really want to take care of myself in a particular way on a job, I will do that. And if I really want to be victimized by a job, I will allow that to happen too. I am responsible for my choices, and I have choices. Above all else, I've learned to accept and trust my present circumstances at work. That does not mean to submit. It does not mean to forgo boundaries. It means to trust, accept, and take care of myself the best I'm able to on a given day. God, help me bring my recovery behaviors to my career affairs. And I think I have to add another one, which is letting go of old beliefs. Try harder, do better, be perfect. I don't know if I could do perfect. These messages are tricks that people have played on us. No matter how hard we try, we think we have to do better. Perfection always eludes us and keeps us unhappy with the good we've done. Messages of perfectionism are tricks because we can never achieve their goal. We cannot feel good about ourselves or what we have done while these messages are driving us. We will never be good enough until we change the messages, tell ourselves we are good enough now. We can start approving of and accepting ourselves. Who we are is good enough. Our best yesterday was good enough. Our best today is plenty good too. We can be who we are and do it the way we do it today. That is the essence of avoiding perfection. I also avoid perfection. God, help me let go of the messages that drive me into the crazies. I will give myself the permission to be who I am and let that be good enough. I felt that at work today that a lot of times the assistants criticize. Also when I gave like English lessons, they were always giving feedback to the employer. And I just didn't understand why a teacher's assistant with no education even thinks she can give feedback on A, she doesn't know English, B, she doesn't know how to teach English, C, who asked her anyway? So the kids were bored? I don't know. I've learned that I have a philosophy. I prefer to teach kids songs without tapes. I also don't like using technology too much, and kids are really used to tapes. I think it's sad because it teaches them not to sing with their own voice. They're always listening to other people singing, to an orchestrated piece of music, and they don't really understand how music is built up of your voice plus musical instruments. They just get everything ready, set. And I do believe that Rudolf Steiner's system is right, not to let kids listen to CDs or recorded music, but let them listen to real live music. Whether it's using your voice or using a musical instrument, a very basic musical instrument, such as drumming, triangle, whatever. I think it's rather sad what's happening to musical education and school and early childhood education, that you just put a CD, and that's it. And kids don't really know what the competent of music is, and they don't listen to their voices. That's what I have to say. Yes, I don't have a perfect voice, but they could be worse. And I want the kids to sing too. I'm not going to get the kids to sing if they're always having this perfect CDs with like perfect music, am I? But I think I'm going against the stream for sure. So, anyway, I just have to let go also of the feeling that I'm not good enough. And today, I felt very strong that I am good enough. I am good enough to tell teacher's assistant not to go outside at 12. I'm good enough not to tell teachers. I'm good enough to tell teacher's assistant to follow my directions, because I've been teaching quite some time, and I also have a direction and a goal. And I don't think the kids' goal in kindergarten is just to be outside so the teacher's assistant can wash the floors and hang around and, I don't know, do what, clean. The kids are not there so somebody can clean. I'm also angry because ideally they're not supposed to clean while the kids are there, and they do that anyway. I don't understand why they can't clean at the end of the day. I understand there's a spill, but why is there a need to constantly clean? Okay, I'm an extreme person. I don't clean at all. But why do they always have to clean a kindergarten? And my belief is they're avoiding working with the kids. Instead of dealing with kids, which is complex, and having to deal with emotions, they prefer to just put a rag and wash the floors. And then they say to an inexperienced teacher, oh, go outside, I have to clean the floor. But how long? 15 minutes? 20 minutes? an hour. רגע, תיזהר פה, יש פה כלב, תיזהר חמודי. יופי. לא להתקרב, בבקשה, סליחה, אני מצטערת, לא התכוונתי להביא. פשוט הכלבה מפחדת, תודה חמוד.